All right, here he is.
Well, you've made a new Christmas movie, and that's a whole thing. We grew up watching ours, and our kids may have their favorites. I mean, first, just let's talk about what should a Christmas movie do?
It should make you feel something, make you feel good. I mean, it should have heart and humanity in it. Those are the ingredients. The thing with Jingle Jangle is that, we've had heart and humanity and whimsy and wonder, but we ain't have no representation in any of them. That's what we've been missing. So yeah, but those ingredients, heart and humanity.
I mean, Christmas, above all the holidays, seems to have its own set of values that we're trying to push forward in terms of generosity, in terms of thinking about community, in terms of thinking about, those who are less fortunate and giving to them. So it's always like, Scrooge, or, it's just always like give to other people. This is the time we open up our heart and give till it hurts. And that's the beauty of Christmas, right?
Well, you could give some of them hair follicles, because it's pretty disrespectful to blow your hair out for this interview. You went on, the hell that I'm bald, and you went on and just did a blowout kit, and you made it as long as it could. That's disrespectful, man. So get with the holiday spirit. Don't give me some of them hair follicles.
I can't remember the last time I saw my barber. It's at least 9 months. It might be 12 months. If it could grow anno it would be gone. You know what I mean?
Well, it's working.
Well, maybe my problem is I saw my barber too much.
No, that wasn't it. That wasn't it.
Well, I mean, you guys are a team and you're married. How long have you been married?
22 years.
Wow. And so what is the division of labor within the working on a film like this?
Are you married?
I am.
Okay, you know the division of labor. You do what the hell I tell you to do. That's what she says to me, or you or you find somewhere else to sleep. So.
I mean, it's hard. At home, you could do that she's always right thing. But when you go to work, sometimes you might need to we got to work on this. It can't just be like she always right.
Yeah, but the problem is you got to come home. See what I'm saying? If you could live on the set, then yeah, you could punch your chest up and say, hey, I'm the director. I'm the top of the food chain. You don't tell me what to do. You can get away with all that.
Well, we always will speak to everybody we work with respect, and dignity, even if we're married or not married. But so tell me how it is that you guys split up what you do when you're
Are you married to a black woman? Okay, good. Because here's the deal, Lyn not only tells me that she don't like a scene I directed, but she says I don't like the scene, and then she started talking about my mama. And let me tell you something, I never liked your mama either. And you know what I'm saying? So.
Touré, don't fall for these shenanigans.
Is that true?
This is how we split it up. Okay.
Is that true? Is that how we getting down? Is that
only sometimes? only when I'm pushed in a corner. You got to come out swinging. But no, truthfully, David is an amazing leader, and that's what it's about. Especially when you're tackling a project like this. We had a vision, we had a dream for this project, and we knew that it was our responsibility to make it the best it could be, not only because of the time we were incubating this, but also because it has not been done. And if we don't get it right, it's going to close the door for other people trying to do it. So it's not only the responsibility for us to fulfill our dreams, but also to open the doors for those to do it behind us. Mm-hmm. So that is the thing that focused us on set. We had our moments, and we're married, and it's intense and it's no joke. Just the whole aspect of it all, and you can see the film and know that all the layers that we were purposefully putting in it and trying to show the details in this film and in the storyline. But at the end of the day, we were fighting for the same things, we realized. And that's what always brought us back to center.
How many films have you done together?
This is the fifth.
Fifth film, but how many shows?
And about 14 plays.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, wow. So the marriage is strong.
Yeah, it is. I'm like the guy, the lady in Get Out. Remember when they were talking to her and she was trying to communicate, but she couldn't. That's why I am in this situation. But
the door's always open. He won't leave. It's unlocked.
This woman has elevated every bit of my life and career and art and how I see the world, how I see my place in it, the aesthetics of it. This film, she's came up with all the aesthetics with the costume designer, with the hair designer. She worked with them, collaborated with them to come up with this look. So I mean, she's been, marriage is marriage, and but I tell you, it works. The marriage works. The partnership works. And at the end of the day, the art works, and so we celebrate that.
Well, it's a beautiful looking film in terms of the costumes, in terms of the hair, in terms of this sort of visual celebration of Blackness. So we see that sort of explosion of just retina popping stuff just in every frame. Take you back to the beginning in terms of the films and the notions that inspired this. If there was a mood board, what would have been on it? Are there films that inspired this, or experiences that said, okay, this is the direction we want to go with?
Well, it was a mix of, for me, it was Willy Wonka and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, as far as just your ideas of wonder and kind of whimsy. But then, of course, putting us in it, you have to ground it with some soul, and it's got to have a little bit. And we wanted to make sure it connected with Africa, because we were in the late 1800s. So these were first or second generation removed from Africa, either had fled from the States because of slavery. So this was 1800s. So we wanted to make sure we connected them to the continent, so that all the African patterns were mixed with Victorian designs. And that was a burst of color. I mean, it's like a bag of Skittles when you see this. It's like whoa. And so shout out to Michael Wilkinson, who was a costume designer, and Gavin Bouquet was a production designer, because they really collaborated with Lyn and Sharon Martin, the hair designer, really collaborated with Lyn to come up with what was unique, what was authentic, and what was culturally specific to us.
Are there Black films that you said, okay, let's take a piece from this, let's take a piece from this? I'm thinking maybe of The Wiz. Is that in there somewhere?
I not really The Wiz. I thought they did a really great job. I love the choreography of The Wiz. But The Wiz was in New York City, the subway in Manhattan. So I wanted to give you more wonder and more whimsy, and take you on an adventure, kind of open the mind. But what they did in The Wiz was groundbreaking for sure. It was groundbreaking for sure, and it was celebrational. And so I wanted to, but my thing was, I wanted to make sure the narrative wasn't a whip against our backs in the 1800s. And in that era, that's all the imagery that we see of us singing "Nobody Knows the Trouble I've Seen" and trying to flee on the Underground Railroad, and all that stuff is significant, and all that stuff is very important. But we were also still innovators, scientists, kings, queens. We were around the world, not just what was going on in America, but we were important, and we were of significance, and we were empowered around the world. So I wanted a different narrative. I didn't want just my son to see the 1800s and say, oh, okay, we only have whip against our back and chains on our neck.
How many kids y'all got?
One.
Okay. How old?
7.
Nice, nice. So, what was the initial idea? Two toy makers who are battling for supremacy? Was that the initial sort of thrust into this story?
The initial idea was an inventor, Jeronicus Jangle, a toy maker, the greatest inventor in all the land. And so characters like from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, Caraticus Potts, and then there was Willy Wonka, and then there was Mary Poppins. So I wanted someone to sit on this Mount Rushmore of these iconic characters, Ebenezer Scrooge. I wanted someone. So you have to have a name that is otherworldly. But I wanted it to be to showcase our intellect, our imagination that we don't get a chance to see with people of color. You don't get a chance to see all of this wonder and imagination and intellect and science and invention and innovation. So I wanted that to be in the forefront.
And also uplifting young girls. For me, it was Mary Poppins and Annie growing up. Annie was the closest thing. And it was like being that strong little girl that you can do anything, no matter your circumstances, you're going to push through it. So for me, Journey represents what I wanted to see as a little girl. And this character and the whole themes of the film fed me as a little girl, as well as an adult. So it was the kid in me that was inspired throughout this whole process. And that's who I had to tap into, and David had to tap into, to capture the innocence of what this could be. And even to see little Edison, when he says, "Do you want to be my apprentice?" She says, "Do you want to be mine?" And it's like, we're partners, we going on this together kind of thing. So it's that. And then the whole idea of solving, the square root of possible, that positive way to solve formulas, to find your formula for success. It's all of those themes. And there was nothing that held her back. She saw that her grandfather was down, and she wanted to do whatever she could to bring him back. She believed in him. It's that belief, it's forgiveness, it's the themes of love and music, and that's what we wanted. We wanted anybody can see this and be touched by it. They're universal messages, but we also wanted to highlight the beauty that we are as a Black culture. At the same time, normalizing these images, normalizing natural hair, the fabrics that we interweaved in here, these beautiful African fabrics. It was grounded with muted tones so that it doesn't feel candy coated, but you feel the vibrancy of it. So there's nothing like it to me that you can really compare it to, but you feel the elements of inspiration that from our upbringing, like a Wiz for the soulfulness, and like an Annie or a Mary Poppins. And, it's sad to say the Wiz was out 40 years ago.